Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Today we're talking about a bit more of a serious topic about a brand new creator that's popping up on FYP on TikTok and all over Twitter and all over Reddit. It's called the Resilient Jenkins. And the reason I'm covering this is because it's not that she's a massive following, but she's starting to ramp up, going viral for all the wrong reasons. You have so many children living in a one-bedroom place where the dad does I don't know if he does Uber or Uber Eats or whatever that thing is called, where he delivers groceries. I don't know if he's just doing that, but these children are literally sleeping on the floor in the kitchen with cats. And she's trying to go viral. She's trying to make it as a child exploiter and is explicitly saying it. And this is what people think are options now in order to come out of poverty. That's insane. So let's talk about it. So we've been covering a lot of family vloggers on this channel over the past 4 years, okay? Lots and lots and lots. Most of them are absolutely wealthy. They built their wealth off of their children and have made more money than most people will ever see in their entire lives, often in like a week or two, okay? It's insane how much money these people make. And sometimes there's a moral conundrum being like, okay, well, this child has this disease, and so I have to do these videos so it pays for the medical bills. And almost you can come up and say, well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? As a person who came from poverty, massive amounts of poverty, and as someone has asked this question a million times, if you had nothing else, and the only way to lift yourself out of poverty or pay for your rent or your hydro or your electricity or your whatever, I call it hydro, sorry, groceries, anything, would be to exploit your children on the internet, would you do it? See, it's a moral conundrum. It's one of those ones where we got to, of course the answer is you shouldn't, but the reality is otherwise. Because people who have had to fight their entire lives and lift themselves out of poverty, like myself, have a different view than people who grew up in a normal home, who didn't have to worry about food or anything like that, or insecurities of any of those types of things. Because for me, if I had nothing else and I had to lift my family out of poverty, it'd be a really hard thing to say no to. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. Okay, but the issue is that the people don't just stop there. The little bit of fame hits, and it really resonates with those who exploit their children who are terminal. There was a couple of mommy influencers on TikTok that had children with this rare disease, okay? And their whole thing was, we're raising awareness to this rare disease. And I got banned for it. But I never backed down on my stance on it. Because if you were just gonna talk about the rare genetic disease, show your kid maybe once or twice and then make that your whole personality, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Right? But the issue is a little bit of fame hits and then they start building millions of followers. And then that daily content of that child starts popping up on people's front page and people start throwing out, you're such a good mom, this and that. And then these parents feel forced or pressured into making more content because then it starts making them real money. The real purpose of what happened goes out the window when fame and money really start rolling in. Okay, let's talk to another creator today, especially with Doherty Dozen, and we're going on about how could she be doing this? How could she be spending $950,000? Is she doing this through tax breaks and everything else? A lot of it is criminal too. These people are sitting here and they don't care what the future happens. If Doherty Dozen gets caught, what she's likely doing, okay, she could end up in prison. Okay, don't forget that Doherty Dozen's manager from Sun and Sky Entertainment actually went to jail for $22 million worth of fraud. So this person knows how to manipulate systems, including money systems, okay? And that's who's running her show. So Alicia's out there, I'm not saying she is, but in my opinion, I honestly think that she's breaking the law somehow when it comes to fraud and defrauding the government. Okay, when it's tax fraud at minimum. I think that there's no way that she's spending $945,000 on camera and paying herself that much money because she would owe the government hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tax. It's insanity what she's doing. So the reason I'm saying something about Doherty Dozen is because a lot of these people feel like they have no other way out, and they fall into an algorithm, they fall into a system, they fall into making easy content, and then they just do it. Like the creator This Mad Mama, who we were introduced to on Doherty Dozen's channel because she was trying to be a good mom and a good friend and help the poor and needy, because This Mad Mama is a poor and needy person. Okay, she has 490,000 subscribers on TikTok, and recently, I don't know if she got any of her kids back, but she lost all of her kids because she OD'd on medicine and had to go to the hospital. Needless to say, her house is a wreck, and she has 12 children, biological children, that live in this house that's a wreck. That's basically the resilient Jenkins, by the way. She is the next Mad Mama, okay? If she is allowed to continue to grow. Now, my whole argument today is going to be like, stop making these people famous. But we do have a moral conundrum to deal with. A person who has no money finally finds a way and an avenue and a vein to make cash, but it's with child exploitation. I think it's wrong. Okay, so this Mad Mama, she now has a roof problem. Apparently, she moved into this house that she lives in. That is, you should see it. I can see we pop it up on her. Yeah, here. Look at this house right here. Okay, she's doing a meme about how she needs a new roof. Obviously, you need an entire new house. This is where 12 children live with their mom, and men come in and out of this thing. By the way, like disgusting things. This woman didn't eat. I don't even think one of her kids has a number or whatever you call it. We call them SIN numbers here, to register her health numbers. One of the kids has cancer and like was likely going to die if it didn't get help, and she just didn't like it. The kid doesn't exist in records. But this is the house that they live in. She has 490,000 subscribers and is still struggling to put a roof on this house, which is. And if it's a new roof you need, not just shingles, if it's a new roof, which it likely is, there's probably mold issues because apparently she moved into this parcel of land. This house was not bought to live in. It was you bought the land to tear the house down and live in it. So she buys the house and the land, I'm not sure how she got a hold of it, but lives in the house that's condemned. 12 children, I don't know, it's not 12 children anymore, but 12 children at one point lived in this condemned house. And she's got famous for it on the internet. 490,000 subscribers on TikTok. Okay, and she unapologetically says, "Hey, I'm on here to make money. I make like $1,200 a month or $2,000 a month on TikTok, and I'm here to make money. This is the only way I can make money." Which is not true, by the way. I've been a hustler my entire life. I have worked many jobs. I have never once shirked any payment I've ever had to make, like rent or my phone, if I didn't unless I had no other options. Okay, there are even moments in my life, if you go listen to my story, where my sister and my mom would when I turned 18, they would take my name and my SIN number and they would put phones and hydro and electricity and all my bills in that name so they could use it because they didn't have any credit left. And then I was left with bad credit for most of my life. My credit score, I've built my life back up. My credit score is 850 now. Okay, you know how long it took me to do that properly? It took me until well into my late 30s to get my credit back to where it should be. Okay, I worked my ass off to get to where I am. I've worked in a million jobs to do it. Okay, until I found something I was really good at. And then I did that, and I'm good at that. Okay, and that's not YouTube. That's the other thing that I do. Okay, it's real estate, video photography, video production for companies, teaching people how to do YouTube channels, all that kind of stuff. I'm really good at video stuff. And that has led me to a better life. Okay, I'm not saying this to blow my own horn, but these people will tell you that they have nothing else and they have to go to TikTok. Now, there's nothing wrong inherently with making money on the internet. I do it. Lots of people do it. But there is something wrong when you have to exploit children to get there, especially poor children who will get bullied for this. If you grew up poor, hands up. Did you get bullied in school for it? Right? And I'm not saying that these people should be, and they're not. The kids don't deserve this. But these kids get bullied even on the internet by people that don't even know them. Okay? This Mad Mama is a disgusting, derelict mother, and she should lose her children. Living in a condemned house that is likely full of mold is really dangerous, especially if one of your children is I don't know if the kid is better now. I don't know the story. I don't follow her. But it was dire straits. Okay, so I'm showing all this stuff, and I'm going to come to a point, I promise. But let me show you who the resilient Jenkins is first, okay? So this is resilient Jenkins. It's the resilient Jenkins crew. It's the multicultural family of 6 going on 7. She has literally going to have 7 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment. At some point, you need to tie it off, okay? It's at some point, you're not doing your kids any favors. I don't care how many kids you think you want. This should be illegal. Because look at her son. What's going on?
Welcome back to another evening with the resilient Jenkins, TikTok's current favorite family to hate on. It's giving Sunday.
See, she's like, it's TikTok's favorite family to hate on. People aren't hating you. Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe they are, and maybe it's deserved. What they're hating on is the fact that you're putting these children through so much garbage and heartbreak and turmoil and poverty, and you're showing the internet, and you're showing their lives on the internet without their informed consent, by the way. This is insanity what you're doing. This is where they sleep. Look at that floor.
I'm making dinner, which I just posted a full dinner recipe video. While dinner was cooking, I got the kids' area all straightened up, vacuumed.
And you know to hell she does not vacuum this area. Okay? Look at that carpet. She looks like she vacuums regularly. She's doing it for the camera. She's lying to you. This is another thing. Not only is this place already the most disgusting thing you've ever seen for a family, it's like, it's bringing me back. I'm telling you, I've lived in places like this, okay? It's bringing me back. It's triggering me a little bit. But she's doing this for a camera and faking what she's like, I'm such a good mom. Look at that carpet. That was probably white before, or beige. That shit's green with mold. She doesn't vacuum regularly. She's lying to you.
My handy dandy hose. And I take this rug outside and shake it off almost every day. The girls wanted to see it.
Almost every day. And this is the current boyfriend, by the way. And new baby daddy of baby number 6, I guess. Okay, this is it. And it's not like this guy's been in her life her whole life, because we're going to go to the Reddit and I'm going to show you a little bit about this guy.
If Dad could do the Pennywise dance, he has it for our children. Then Drew took a second to take a look at a bump that's been bothering one of our daughters on her heel.
Is he a doctor now? Okay, cool.
I made my 3 older kids their plate, and then I broke some chicken up for my toddler, who ended up not even being interested. Generally, he has a good appetite, but he's eaten a lot throughout the day, and he just kind of wasn't feeling it. My older son asked me if I could trim up his hair. I say right now, when it's come to my older son, I will always respect the wishes of him and his father when it comes to his hair. I ask my son every couple of months if he's ready to grow his hair out, or if he still wants another trim. He just keeps saying he's not quite ready to grow it out. In fact, this time he told me maybe I'll...
And she has multiple cats. 6 kids. Looks like 2 cats minimum. And 2 adults living in a 1-bedroom tiny apartment.
I'll switch it up when I'm 12. I always like to make sure my kids get showers on Sunday night so they have a nice fresh start for Monday.
So these kids have a shower once a week? No.
I don't know if this was fairly obvious, but not only do we have 1 bedroom, we also have 1 bathroom. So when it comes to shower time, we have to time it out right so everybody gets a chance to go. My daughter's curls were popping today, so I didn't do braids in her hair. I just went ahead and set her curls for the morning and then braided my older daughter's hair. After everybody was through brushing their teeth, we did some reading and our nightly prayers.
Nightly prayers. So there you go. That's what kind of... So the comments are just... are wild. I just want to say I've seen several families who lived in 1-bedroom house or apartment, but it's all about how it's kept and how you'll decide to present it. And you should definitely consider how. What does your man do for work? And then you look down here. Uber Eats. For real? Yeah. Or DoorDash. The sound beeping in the background says it all. Like, as soon as he wakes up, he's a gig driver for sure. Plays his PS5. Not enough. So, and that's another thing that really bugs me about this family, is they're rocking the adults obviously get the bedroom. The children sleep on pull-out mats on the living room floor. Maybe one of the kids or 2, maybe they co-sleep. I don't know. You shouldn't be co-sleeping with a dude you've only been together with for a couple of months, by the way, with your children. You shouldn't be moving in dudes to your kids anyway that you've only been together with for a couple of months. You don't know this guy from Adam. Okay? I don't care how much you think you trust him. That's a crazy red flag that a guy's like, yeah, I'll move in with you and your 5 kids in this 1-bedroom apartment. You don't think that's a red flag? Does he sleep in his car otherwise? Dad takes his first evening off in 150 plus days, so him and the kids can have a gaming sesh. He drives for DoorDash. Having a PS5 to play Little Big Planet is insane when your kids don't have beds. And so there's the next little tidbit of information. Their children don't have any beds. They sleep on mats on the floor. I grew up like this to a degree. Not my whole life, but a big part of my childhood was this. And I remember it very vividly, okay? And it's crazy. These kids, it is so sad. He got a game system and they don't have beds. Imagine that. And then 293 replies, 59,000 likes. Because I'm baffled at this whole situation. A PS5 is what, 500? More like 700. They probably bought it with the money they got from TikTok recently. There's a strange feeling here. I keep hating because these comments about to have her paid. Her kids look happy, clean, and... There's always a white knight. There's always a white knight who you're like, justify, oh, it's okay. This is not okay. Everybody, I'm sorry, but this is CPS involvement. It should be. Miss Mad Mama lost her children, and it's not like, oh, it's so sad you lost your kids, it shouldn't happen. No. It should happen a long time ago. And I know the government's always like, we want to keep kids with their mother and everything, but these kids are not living healthy lives. Okay, they're living with strange men. They're sleeping on the floor. They're living in a 1-bedroom apartment in likely a very, very crime-ridden part of their town in Oregon, wherever they live. Okay, they're not well taken care of. They're living in abject poverty, and the house looks like it's full of mold. Ain't no way you just said that half of it is illegal, like having a 1-bedroom with 9 effing people. So yeah, they might be better for CPS. Girl, this is a traumatizing situation for the kids. In fact, she's having another sickening. I'm not disagreeing with sentiment. sentiment, but they have 4 kids with a 5th on the way, not 6. If this shocks you guys, my husband's aunt dated a man who had 12 kids and lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and he took the room and made them sleep on 3 mattresses. 12 kids on 3 mattresses. Okay, that's not good either. They have a trundle bed. No, they don't. The PS5 is about $600. Bunk beds are maybe $100. Also, you could just literally go on Facebook, and there's a lot of places that will have this stuff for free. You can go find it. He has a vehicle, right? He has his license at minimum. You can go rent a U-Haul. There is never an excuse ever to not have your children have a bed this day and age, okay? Because you can buy them real cheap. Really damn cheap, if not free. And sometimes you can make a community Facebook group in your community where you live and say, look, I'm a struggling mother. I've got 6 kids. I need beds. I don't have any beds. If I saw that post, I'd be like, what do you need? Okay, that's like, there's people out there who are willing to help you. There are government programs willing to help you, like with furniture especially. You can reach out to a care worker and be like, look, I need help. You can even reach out to CPS and say like, hey, look, CPS, I need help. Right? She's clearly on welfare. She doesn't have a job. There's no way she has a job with this many kids. Can't. And living on her own. Again, this new guy hasn't been there for this long, everybody. She has many baby daddies for these children, I think. More comments. Where is CPS? Like, actually. Bedroom, game system, TV, big bed, neon lights, kids sleeping. Yeah, neon lights. Kids sleeping in the kitchen and living room. It's insane. Where was the one that I saw where she's like, I'm so glad we finally went viral?
As you can read,
when you have a 1-bedroom with 6 people, a bedroom becomes more essential than a dining room. Dinning. She calls it a dinning room.
Caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside...
Did you just say that? We're trying to give our kids more privacy. Well, she films it for the internet!
Our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. Generally, the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? My perception...
Yeah, good question.
His judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough...
No. My judgment comes from living that experience. And I will say it. Why don't you have beds for your children? Why you keep having more children? Don't have any more children. Wear f***ing protection. Get your tubes tied. Do something. Get him a vasectomy. I'll pay for it. Figure it out. You're making your kids' lives worse because you're a greedy bastard. Can't keep your damn legs closed or wear protection. Okay? It sounds like your priorities matter more than your children's priorities. Get effing wrecked, asshole.
You generally don't judge people. I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people. I would be lying.
Clearly, you have nothing to judge people on. Look where you are. You can't judge anybody. You're a terrible person. Look at the floors in this house.
If I said there wasn't a point in my life that I was so naive, I might have judged a poor person.
You've got to move your dining room table out every single night out of the house, outdoors, so your kids can sleep. And you don't see a problem? You're going to have more kids? You're going to have more kids. Yeah? Why didn't you wait till you're in a better position in life, then have more kids? Right? But she feels forced to use TikTok to better her situation. Not go get an education, not reach out for help, not go get a real job, or find a man who's not a loser. Okay? Like, are you crazy?
And like I said, I have learned a lot. I generally look like I'm roughing it, but that's because our kids come first. I do everything
Your kids do not come first when you're having unprotected sex and having more children.
I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down to it, I could shove everything my kids have in 1 bedroom of some of these houses I see, and it would really look like nothing. We try to teach our kids to take care of what they have, be grateful for what we have. We keep praying and pushing for the growth that we want. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next.
Nice basketball shorts. So here it is. Look up a Murphy bed. Take up the space of a bookshelf during the day, and it's full queen-size bed. That's true. I mean, Murphy beds are not cheap, though. I will give you that. They are thousands of dollars if you get good ones. So many questions. Why would you not put all the kids in a room with bunks and a Murphy bed in the living room for you? It's a good question. That question seems to pop up a lot. Like, why do you get the bedroom and the kids sleep in a very open room with a big ass giant window that likely doesn't even have a lock on it because you know it's in the ghetto, right? These kids are in more danger. What if someone breaks in your house? You're safe in your bedroom. Your children are all out in the freaking wilderness. That's crazy, right? Like, is there a way for kids not to sleep in the living room, dining room? Just can't. It's a house. They can sleep in the toilet if it had space. Y'all are too grown to be so. Shut the Judge Judy would have a field day with you. Even the Gallagher's had more than one room. If you don't know Shameless, this is like basically Shameless. Is it even legal to have that many people in a 1 bedroom? Not in my state. It's 2 per bedroom plus 1. Occupancy limits are typically 2 per bedroom and 1 per living space. So 3. Yeah, she's not living legally. Self-control. There we go. Being financially stable is also a form of love for your children. My husband and I own our house and car, and we are expecting our second in this economy. I think we are two and done because kids are expensive. I mean, these kids aren't going to get anything. Like, they can't even afford to live normally. Okay, but the priority goes to husband getting a PS5. You cannot sit there and tell me you have a PS5 and a giant flat screen TV and your kids don't have beds. You are a loser. Okay, you're an effing loser and you've prioritized the wrong thing. And it's just, she's shown it. She's like, we're the favorite people to hate. Well, we hate you because you're a piece of shit.
I don't know, but I feel like adulthood is reaching this point where you just learn that some things, they're just better left unsaid. Some things are just not worth saying to people. I mean, and you could have a reaction, but it's just like, why? Maybe
just, if you don't want your hair, just cut it off. Adulthood is also providing a safe space for your kids, but I guess we aren't doing that either. Burn. Your kid should have the bedroom. Your kid should have the bedroom. Yeah, that's what people are saying. And, she wanted to put this on the internet and is wondering why, she can't. Like, wondering why she's getting panned. Where is that video where she's like, if we finally went viral, I'm trying so hard to go viral. Basically, the video was her being super excited about going viral. And she was so excited because she's been trying for so long and then she finally did. So the reality of being flat broke is knowing you can't do shit about your kids' cats, skin infection, other than to rehome the animal to someone more financially able to handle it. Why do I have to take my baby? I really don't want to. No. You don't get to sit in front of the internet and cry because you have cats that you can't physically take care of. You can't even take care of your damn children. You have no business having animals. Okay, I know lots of people love animals because animals deserve love. But animals deserve to live in a home that if something happens, you can take care of them. If something happens to my animals, I will break the bank. This dog here, Gus, I don't know if you knew this already. He has already had over $8,000 worth of surgeries to remove lumps. Okay, it's gone, thank God, and didn't grow back, and we love the doctor did it. Crazy. There's nothing I wouldn't spend on my animals. Okay, nothing. Something wrong, we're going to the vet. Right? I can do that. I can afford that, and it won't even break my bank because I am responsible with my money. Which means if I wanted another dog, I could. Maybe I'll get 15 dogs. I could afford it. Right? But if you can't afford animals, stop getting animals. They don't deserve that life. They can't help themselves. They can't get out and panhandle for money to save their lives. You can't even take a cat to a vet to see what's wrong with it because you couldn't afford the $60 to walk into a vet and get an appointment and see what's wrong with it. You couldn't even afford that. So you're never going to know if something's wrong with your animal. Okay? You're disgusting for this. You don't get to cry about it on the internet. Get rid of your cats to someone who can take care of them. That's all you can do, and you should do it. See, look, many things you can do. You could get a job and sell the PS5 for bunk beds or the kids to sleep in a bedroom and rearrange the other area. She doesn't see the thing is she cries about all this stuff, but she has a PS5 with a flat screen TV and LEDs in her room. I'm sorry. No. And I know it sounds like I'm harshly judging this woman because I am. Because I had to live with this type of life. And man, I wish I didn't have to. The struggles of these kids is just beginning and is so sad. Okay, and this woman's out here flexing on the internet and showing everybody too, like she's proud of it. Proud of being a negligent piece of shit. So let's head over to Resilient Jenkins. This was on TikTok Gossip 20 hours ago. Is anyone following this lady? She's pregnant with 4 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment with her husband and 2 cats. The kids are a mix of kids from previous relationships for both of them. Okay, so he brought kids in too. Sounds great. Sounds just recipe for disaster is what it sounds like. And their own biological kids. The kids don't have beds. They sleep in the living room with a blanket over the window. The husband and her have the bedroom with a TV and gaming setup. She doesn't work, and he does Uber Eats and DoorDash for work. They clearly live in extreme poverty, and they're getting a ton of hate for having yet another child. I'm surprised you're the first post here about it. Where did you see? She does Uber Eats and DoorDash. I didn't see that. He said today in his live that he didn't do that, so not sure, but he also works when he wants to. I smell a liar. Maybe he just drives an Uber. So as they get bigger, they're going to start doing videos and collecting on this. And what I'm trying to tell you, convince you in this video, is don't go watch her. Don't give her your view. Don't give her a hate comment. Don't go downvote her videos. Stay far away from this. Take her out of your mind. The reason we're exposing this thing is because we don't even want to hate watch this stuff. Because it's going to hurt these kids. I was inadvertently thrust in the situation by my FYP and they drive me up a wall. They said on a live that the kids broke their beds, so they took them away. Okay. Anyway, what's going to happen, and I know it's going to be something outside our control. They're going to get bigger, like this mad mama, and they're going to get CPS called them if it's not already happened. Someone shows this. What? How I feel every time heartburn kicks, and I remind myself, but my baby is part African, Puerto Rican, and going to have beautiful hair. Like, man, the lowest of the low. So here's the actual Resilient Jenkins Snark page. Already has 350 members, created like today. Because that's how fast this is growing. The hate's already growing. This woman's entrance on the internet and being viral is her being hated. And for good reason. Wasn't even with this dude for 4 months before she let her kids go by him and all live together and all live together. Is crazy. Happy 4 months, baby, I love you. And this was like 2022. So they were living together at 4 months and brought their kids together. Y'all, there's 92 days till Christmas. My goal was to go viral before Christmas and maybe even have extra funds to afford a Christmas for my kids. 92 days away seems so fast. This is her goal. Please, Lord, open some doors. I'm so exhausted from knocking, trying to bring up opportunities for my babies. See, what she's trying to do, and the opportunities that she thinks are presenting themselves, is to exploit children on the internet. That's craziness to me. And this is what pisses me off. This type of girl right here. She's sitting out on her porch smoking weed with piercings. Right? They always have a ton of piercings and tattoos and things like that. Stoner Snuggie, low key one of my most treasured possessions, and that was 2020. This woman's a stoner. Okay? If you don't have beds for your children, but you got a PS5 and a flat screen TV, go f*** yourself. If you don't have beds and a place comfortable for your kids to sleep in a safe place, but you smoke weed and you have $100 piercings, thousands of dollars worth of tattoos, go f*** yourself. Okay? If you struggle to make ends meet and yet you have time to get your nails done and your hair did, go f*** yourself. Okay? When I see people out there, and I grew up in areas like this, I grew up with a mother like this to some degree. Okay? Priorities, although not as much as I did see as some of my friends who grew up in poverty. My mom was still a little bit better than most. Like I didn't have it as bad, I can say that. Our bills were paid, our house was clean. But man, did my mom like her beer on the weekends, right? Did she loved her 1 pack of cigarettes a day. Shit's not cheap, okay? But man, did she like to go party and do crazy and smoke a lot of weed and everything else. And I resent people who do this because I grew up in very poor areas where you'd see these kids' moms who have like expensive hairdos and weaves and nails and expensive clothes and purses. And yet you live in the projects. You live in poverty. You have no business with any of that shit if you live in poverty. No business with it. Today I was driving by, picking something up from my bathroom I'm renovating. I was driving by this place and I know it's called Ottawa Community Housing. Okay, it's where all the poor people live. Because I used to remove graffiti off these buildings, okay? Like all the time. And the amount of poverty I've seen in there would break your damn heart. No joke though. You drive by and you're like, that a BMW in there? Is that a G-Wagon coming out of there? Do you know what I'm saying? And this is like, maybe it's something in my heart I gotta fix, but I judge people so harshly who will take advantage of poverty systems and yet live in the lap of luxury. Or their kids don't get it, but they get it. This is the whole world of self-care. And like you see this on the internet too with influencers and people like, take care of yourself first because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't have money, stop buying shit you don't need. Stop smoking drugs. And this was on her Instagram. So this is someone who's really absolutely comfortable with showing herself naked on the internet. I'll post new pics tomorrow. I'm going to the beach for a much-needed mind-cleaning nature walk. Holy shite, I got a lot more eating to do, meeting my gaining goals. Believe in me. Why is she showing her vagina on Instagram? This woman keeps getting worse, everybody. I really want to know what the F is going on here, someone says. I've just seen one of her videos on my FYP the first time, not even 5 minutes ago. This woman has 4 kids going on 5 in her living room, and her dude share a master bedroom. Why the F is she still reproducing? Y'all, my hubby said that if I can take our account viral and change our financial situation, he'll hump away and give me as many babies as I want. So help a girl out and share, follow, and help my account so I can make this man a father of 7. The last thing you need is another child. You understand me? She will end up like Mad Mama. Yep. Here's a post where she apparently is admitting that these kids have lice for months. RIP to my hair. This is the damage done after having to treat lice for months on end. That comb's terrible or for your hair. Lice for months. This woman wants to go viral. And you know, maybe this is a good thing, because then there would be a lot more CPS calls. And there really should be. I don't give a shit what that sounds like to anybody. I don't care. This woman has no business having children. No business. It's absolutely the most heartbreaking shit I've seen in a long time on this platform. And I hate TikTok for allowing people this place to do this. And it leaves me the conundrum. I mean, she has nothing else. She clearly has no talent. She's a stoner. Probably has a criminal record. Can't get a real job because she has to take care of a bunch of kids. So she has really no choice. Right? But maybe if she's watching this video, let's all leave a comment below about what kind of choices you can make if you're in this type of situation. No, my mom was on welfare most of her life. I get it. And maybe she's on welfare. But what can you do? Right? Without exploiting your children. It's insanity. Stop showing the living conditions, because you're just going to lose your children who wants more children. For what reason? So you can give them less? And of course, she's all over Twitter. This is where it kind of popped up for me too. People are starting to pick it up on Twitter. So regarding TikTok mom going viral for subjecting kids to shitty living conditions due to her own poor decisions. Hashtagging her videos with power couple is a level of delusion I hope to never see in my lifetime. Calling the channel resilient is also weird as hell. They're not resilient. Because, I mean, technically, no, they're resilient because they're still around. Living in a one bedroom where the kids sleep on a kitchen floor where they can take their dining room out every night. I can't stand the resilient Jenkins videos that are going viral. Why are we glorifying poverty? Why is she exploiting her kids and their effed up situation for views? Good question. This girl sums up most of it, but just scroll to like 2022 on the resilient Jenkins page.
I did a deep dive on that family's page, the Jenkins family. The family of 6 going on 7, the 4 kids, and the 2 parents, and she's pregnant. Parents sleep in the bedroom. The kids have always slept in the living room. That's what I'm seeing since 2022. There was a bed in there at one point. There's not a bed in there anymore. There was a bed January of this year, I think. There's not a bed in there anymore. She's posted that, oh yeah, like we're gonna get the second car or whatever. So hopefully that like we can have 2 incomes. I guess that went out the window. She's like, I'll be a stay-at-home parent. She posted in March, I believe, that...
well, because that actually is interesting, because then that was it. They're going to get 2 cars, and they're both going to do the door dashing, right? 2 incomes, I guess. But how you can do that with toddlers, right? And then she said, well, it looks like I'm going to go viral. And so she's making this moment where she's like, okay, I don't have to do that anymore because I'm making... Even if she makes $1,000 on TikTok, that's more money than she'll ever make doing anything else.
Their clothes were moldy.
Clothes are moldy.
Also, the cats have a fountain to drink out of, and they also have fleas. Mm-hmm. One of the cats had a rash. She couldn't afford to take care of it. I don't know if the cat just suffered or what.
The cat suffered. Yeah, it suffered. But I'm sure she got her weed. Probably could afford her weed.
Kids still don't have beds. Kids have always slept in the living room. I think her 2 daughters are from previous relationship. The oldest son is from a previous relationship. In a video that I saw, the oldest son was sleeping in a bed that was in the living room. Her kids still slept on the floor. The girls slept on the floor. If anything, the girls, okay, should have been in bed, but they all could have been in, okay. What else was on there? I think that's all that I can remember right now, but like your animals having fleas, and then your kids also have to sleep on the floor.
And don't forget, your kids can get fleas.
And you couldn't afford the flea medication? You couldn't afford the rash medication?
Nope.
To at least get that under control. She has had lice for months. Mm-hmm. She put that... This is all stuff she's posted.
She's like, this is all stuff that she posted.
Page 2. So I'm assuming it's her and her girls, because she said it was like never ending back to back. Right, for months. To have lice for months is crazy.
That's crazy.
My little sister has had lice a couple times. Never lasted for months. We got that under control. Stat. Yeah, this is all stuff she's posted. So it's worse than just like... We were just saying like maybe switch it around so that your kids are safe. You know, you and your husband sleep in the living room.
Mm-hmm. Get a pull-out couch. There you go. Queen size pull-out couch. Boom.
Bunk beds in there for the kids. But if your clothes are moldy and you can't take care of the animals, and the animals have fleas and ticks, and then your kids have lice,
and you can't do laundry.
and your kids are sleeping on the floor, we were actually not even worried about all of that. We didn't know all of that. Call CPS.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I agree. Okay, just looking at that Resilient Jenkins lady on TikTok with the 7 kids in a 1 bedroom, and I want to do some cussing. Everyone absolutely does not deserve kids. And I'm gonna make a statement. I think the people that are gonna be the most pissed about this are people who grew up in poverty. I think so. I mean, I'm not saying people who grew up wealthy are not going to be pissed either, but the people who have had to deal with this are going to be the most pissed about this. This is going to be the most triggering. That Resilient Jenkins stuff is sad. The rug looks like it stinks. White refrigerator, 1 bedroom, 4 kids and counting, and just see filth and squalor when I see those videos. The Resilient Jenkins is insane. Lock that white lady up. I was already disgusted by the things I passively scrolled by in regarding Resilient Jenkins. Now I'm doing a deep dive, and she's a nasty wench, and he's a no good, filthy porch monkey. I don't know what that means. Is that racist? You got lice, fleas, and your kids sleeping on the floor in the living room. It's porch monkey. What the heck is a porch monkey? If that Resilient Jenkins lady was black, y'all wouldn't be so quick to make excuses for how she's living. I get not having the space, but taking the room with the big ass TV while your kids sleep on the kitchen floor? Hell nah. Her and that something cricket. Wrong as F. The Resilient Jenkins stuff on TikTok is wild. The kind of stuff upsets me to no end. History and karma will keep the score, and people on the wrong side today have 2 choices. Humble yourself or stand and be humble. I don't know, that has nothing to do with Resilient Jenkins. I'm honestly glad y'all are dragging the Resilient Jenkins by their scalps, because that situation really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Eugenics my ass. Then Resilient Jenkins told y'all somebody was calling CPS. Can you please tag me in the relevant posts that demonstrate what you're describing? I would like to call back CPS with the update the information I gave them. Excuse me? Where is his mother? She needs to come get him. This is an insane story following exactly the same path as This Mad Mama. This Mad Mama, I think, is arguably a little bit worse because she has 12 children living in what it looks like a 2-bedroom house that's going to collapse. At least they're living in a rental. The Resilient Jenkins, when they have a landlord that can fix things if it goes wrong, right? And This Mad Mama can't. She can't get a new roof, and she probably has mold and everything growing in her, black mold that these kids who are already sick are breathing in. These are the degenerates of the internet, and they're being made famous. That's insane to me. And it's gross that people watch this, because you're not watching this because you're like, good for you, mama. You're watching it because it's a train wreck. It's because something you've never seen before. It's a fishbowl. They're zoo animals. These kids have zero dignity on this because they're not being watched because people are interested in life. They're being watched because people are like, oh my God. That's why they're watching it. That's gross, by the way. Okay? If you're watching it a morbid curiosity about how people live in poverty, don't do it. You're not helping. Don't do that. Okay, and these parents who feed their kids up like that on a silver platter should be disgusted with themselves. And they're not. Obviously, they're not. Again, if you can go buy expensive piercings, smoke tons of weed, and have flat screen TVs and PS5s and the things that you want, but your kids can't even have a damn bed, get effing wrecked. Butt cracks. Oh, it's disgusting. It is disgusting to no end. This type of stuff. Ugh. And it's only gonna, if people continue to get famous like this, thank God TikTok's going away in the new year. I think it's pretty much, January or February, it's gone. I think that's the timeline it's on so far. Thank God. But if people get famous doing this, then it's going to inspire others to do this. And that's the problem, everybody. This is the problem with this. This is disgusting. Don't glorify this behavior. And if you see something, say something. If you know them and you see these kids living like this shouldn't be. Do with that information what you will. Please take a deep breath with me. These people. Anyway, I'll keep following along. Make sure that it's not getting too crazy. But yeah, my thing stands there, dude, dad, dude, whatever your name is. If you really need it, I'll pay for your damn snip. I'll pay for it. Okay, cool. All right. Everybody, thanks for being here for these tough conversations. I know these kind of leave bad taste in your mouth, mine too, and this stuff lives in my head rent-free for days after I do these videos. It just sits there, and I don't mean it, but at the same time, this is very important conversations. Don't watch them. That's what you got to do. Don't watch them. She does not deserve your views. Okay? But you're amazing, and you're deserving of being loved, and somebody has a huge crush on you. Okay? You're incredible and amazing, and I will see you when I see you.